So now we're going to have the presentation material. It's just a simple presentation, but share screen. Okay. So did you see my screen? Is that the one with one screen or two screens?
Satu screen, Sir.
Satu screen ya, sudah betul berarti. Oke, karena kadang-kadang munculnya yang dua screen. Oke, now let's start the material with K means clustering. Ini apa lagi istilahnya K means clustering? For those who are in statistic, you know what this is, but I have to present this and tell you what it is. Okay, so here's a case you might have a situation something like this. Let me just get my tablet first here. Okay. So last time when we did statistic, we did clustering, and then we program AI, right? Now we are going to do some kind of clustering. Let me just get where's my annotation tool? Okay, annotate. Okay, I've got my annotation tools. Okay. There, draw. Okay. So suppose you're given data like this. Okay. So you have a data, maybe this is a map of your city, and this is the location of phone calls, the originating of phone calls. Maybe you are selling pizza, for example, or coffee, and you've got this kind of a grid of places where the phone calls originated. Okay, so this is maybe the map of your city. So this is the X, and then that's the Y. Now, from our point of view, from our human point of view, it's easy to see, right? Oh, there are three clusters. Okay, so there are three clusters. This is one, this is two, there's this three. It's easy for us, human, to see this, but and also the data is very simple. So you know that there are three clusters, and then that's it. So you can analyze them. But sometimes the data is not this simple, and sometimes it is multidimensional. But you got the idea. You have data, and you have to analyze this data. For example, if these are the location of phone calls, then if we are setting up our own, say, shops, coffee shop, for example, or pizza house, then you might want to put it closer to the originating of phone calls. For example, these are from Gojek, GoFood, or GrabFood, and okay, and Gojek or Grab, they have this data. They said, oh, okay, I have to set up a dapur umum, or like some kind of place where I can develop our food. So maybe I want to install somewhere around here, maybe somewhere around here, and maybe I don't know, somewhere around here, so they can serve the community. So you can serve that one, that one, right? Now, what we are trying to do, this is what we call a clustering. Okay, so we are going to analyze this. Oh, okay, so this is what we call a clustering. Okay. Now, in our particular case, in our examples, we can see that there are three clusters, but sometimes the data is very kind of crowded, and sometimes we want, oh, okay, now I can make it two clusters, I can make it 4 clusters, I can make it 5 clusters, but later on there is a measure to determine how good your cluster is. So, but for tonight, for this particular purpose, I want to show you what we are going to do, and this is what we call K means clustering. So K means the K refers to the number of cluster. So in this particular case, we have 3 clusters. So K means several. Means it's actually root mean square, but I'm going to explain later on. So this is what we call a K means clustering, or clustering in general. Okay. So given this data, and this data is basically XY, 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 right? But how do we going to do that? Are we going to proceed with this? So now let's open your Google Colab. Again, so now we are going to do some coding. Okay, so let's start coding and let's generate samples. So don't worry, I'm going to copy and paste this to you. Just open your Google Colab. Okay, let me stop share first. Let me open my Google Colab. Okay. Colab researchgoogle.com. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me just put my let me open my Google Colab. Wait a minute. Okay, let me just put this one down there. Wait. Just remember, you have to open your Google Colab. Okay, I've got mine. Okay, Colab. So let me share. Where is my share screen? Share screen. This is Colab. Okay. So as usual, let's create a new notebook. Okay. So now, when we start our notebook, we're going to start with, as usual. If you want to try it, okay. Now, let me give you an example of. I'm going to give you an example of. Let me give you a file first. Let me give you a file called clustering. Hang on a second. Where is my chat? Where is my chat? Where is my chat? Let me stop share first. Let me get you the chat. Where is my chat? Okay, let me attach you a file. Your computer. Budi GitLab. Python, contoh, cluster.csv. Okay. So you can download that file called cluster.csv. Okay. So now that file is there. Let me go back and share my screen again. Share screen. Zoom. Where is my share screen? Share screen. Okay, so now this is, let me just call this clustering. Okay, and I'm connecting. Okay, now I'll start with, again, as usual, we're going to upload our file. So if you go to, let me see here, files, and then you upload, remember, and then where was the file? Okay, the file was called cluster.csv, right? Then you have this cluster.csv file. So if you double click the cluster.csv file, you can see that the files are actually consist of 2 rows. Okay. Okay. So the file is already uploaded here and on my part. Now I'm going to start my coding. Okay. So the coding is something like this. Where is my example? Okay. So now I'm going to use what we call a NumPy as usual. Okay, import NumPy. Oh, sorry, import. Nah, sekarang kayaknya kita nggak perlu NumPy. Oke, kita import biasa. Pandas. Oke. Pandas SPD. Apa lagi Pak Budi Pandas ini? Okay, now I want to read the data using pandas data frame equal pd dot read underscore csv, sorry, csv, and then quote unquote cluster dot csv, and then comma header equal none. And then after I read it, I want to print it. Print df. Okay, do that and then run it. Okay, so you see something like this. Okay, silahkan dicoba. Kalau sudah, for those who are, sudah beres, kasih jempol. So again, Pandas is one of those library in Python It is a library to process data. They call it Panda is to what do you call it? A data frame. So when you look into this, right? You can look into this, and it basically reads CSV, and then it creates something like a column, right? So this is similar to what do you call it? Excel, right? It looks like a spreadsheet where you have the column on the left side, the numbers, the rows. You have from 0 to 302 zeros. It is number from 0 to 302. So there are 303 rows. And you have two columns, column 0 and column 1. We can also rename the columns. So for example, I can rename it. While I'm reading it, I can rename it. So if I want to do that, I can do this. The if column, say column, I can rename it. The first column is X. The second column is Y, for example, and I can print it again. Print the F, for example. I can run it. Okay. So now the first column is X, second column is Y. It's just naming, just like the Excel. Okay. So now, what if I want to print this? Remember last time we used Matplotlib to do that, right? So let's do that. Let's just put this. Let me just close this one. Good. Now I can use df plot scatter, and the x-axis is from the x, the label x. The y-axis is from the y. Kebetulan sama namanya. And I want the color equal red, for example, right? And then I run it. There. So you know, the CSV has this data file. You can change the color to say blue, for example, or green if you want. You can do that. Okay.
Cannot work, Pak.
Yang mana?
Yang ini filenya it's file not found error.
Okay. Have you upload the file? So
yes.
You have, okay.
Yes,
it is
already.
there cluster.csv?
Cluster.csv, yes.
Okay. So now show me your screen. Kayaknya ada sesuatu, sebentar. Saya allow screen dulu. Okay. Show me your screen.
Okay. This one. Here, Pak, I save in cluster.csv. Ini Pak ya, di download di sini kan ya Pak ya? Here. Sudah.
Bukan, harusnya bukan di situ. Dia harusnya di, hang on second, let me just show you. Not in that. Coba lagi ke bawah, bukan di situ.
Ya, salah.
Bentar. Jangan di double klik tadi, hang on second. Di direktorinya adalah MNT kayaknya ya, sebentar. Home. Data lab. Sebentar ya, itu direktorinya ada konten. Di dalam konten, jangan itu. So, go up, go into konten.
Konten.
Nah, di-uploadnya ke sana.
Oh, okay. Then I just add in here, Pak.
Okay, click on content first. Click on content first. Kalau itu nanti dia, yes. Nah itu klik on content. Nah itu ya, nah pas kliknya di konten dulu.
Oh, di konten saja, yes.
Oke, nah sekarang upload. Cluster, oke.
It would have different ini Pak in content.
Sebentar ya, saya kok nggak ada di kit ya. Sebentar, hang on second. Go to content. Oh, coba kalau diklik kanan di konten itu, diklik kanan. Sorry, di konten itu ada dot 3. Nah itu upload di situ. Ada kliknya, coba upload di situ. Karena itu tadi keklik pindah ke situ ya, jadi dia pindah ke subdirektorinya. Nah itu sudah.
Run.
Ya, okay.
Thank you, Pak. Yes.
So if we usually, let me just go close this one again. Let me just close mine. Open again. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Now let me just share my screen again. Share screen. Okay. Now after that, you do this. df-plot scatter. Yang sudah jempol, for those who are done, give me your thumbs. Yeah. So you can read different kind of CSV. So suppose you have, the CSV have different columns. You can pick with which column you want to process, for example. Okay. So this also can be done. But for our particular case, the CSV is very simple. They're consists of 2 columns, and then that's it. And if you plot them, they basically the data looks like something like this. Okay. So that's that. Now, let me go back to the theory again. Okay. Now, let me go back to the theory again. Jadi itu kita sudah upload mana ya? Oh, PowerPoint saya. Let's see. PowerPoint saya. I've got my PowerPoint. Okay. Share lagi. Mana share saya? Share-nya, Zoom-nya. Share. Share screen. Okay, yeah. So now, what does it mean by clustering? Okay. So when we do clustering, here's what happened. Okay. Now, this is the data that we have right now. Okay, so now we can write a program to do the clustering, which basically it does this. Okay, so we know that we have 3 clusters, right? So the k-means clustering algorithm is basically we create 3 clusters, 3 centroid. We know that the centroid or the center of these clusters are here, somewhere there, somewhere there, somewhere there, right? But the computers do not know that at the beginning. So let's assume we created, or we pick three random. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, and then the second one would be probably, I don't know, maybe random here. And then the third one is probably random, I don't know, maybe there, right? Okay. Okay. So the center is random basically, okay? So now what do we do? Now what we are going to do is the algorithm is actually measuring the distance between all the points to this center, and they will pick the closest one. For example, let's try this one. This one, you measure the distance between this, and then between that, and then that one. When you mean distance, usually when we have distance, right, in 3-dimensional, it's Pythagoras sebetulnya. X kuadrat ditambahi kuadrat ya, jadi jarak itu adalah ini ya. Kayak gini lah ya. X kuadrat sama Y kuadrat ya. Ini Z kuadrat, ini jaraknya itu ya. Jarak terdekat ya. So that's basically it. Okay. So basically what you are going to do, you're going to measure that. And then based on that, you make the decision. For example, for this particular guy, they said, okay, because I measured this 3, I'm closer to that one, so I'm red. Okay. So again, we'll do the same thing. This one probably is also still closer to red. Okay. And this one probably, you measure this one, okay, it's probably yellow. Okay. Yellow. Okay. Sorry, this one probably yellow. Okay. And then this one is probably, I don't know, maybe oh, sorry. Let's just start to make it better. Let's just start the green somewhere closer here to make it interesting, right? Let's make it interesting to make the green here. Okay. So for this one, it's probably green, right? Because it's closer to that one. Okay. So now once you assign everything, you assign everything, and this one is probably, I don't know, maybe yellow, right? This one is probably, the green is probably only one, right? I don't know yet. And then probably the red one, hang on a second, let me just put the red. Everything is probably red, right? Red. So everything is red, okay, here. And everything here is probably yellow. And this one is also yellow, right? Okay, now, once you have everything like that, right? This one yellow. Okay, so now you have everything classified into those classes, okay? But they're still wrong, right? So now based on these classes, you create a new centroid based on the label. Okay, so probably you're going to say that, oh, okay, this, the second row, yeah, okay, this is the yellow, the green only one, so probably this is, sorry, this is the green, is the new centroid is here. The yellow, because you have so many yellows here. So probably the yellow, the new centroid is going to be here, right? The new one. Okay, let's erase that one. And the red one is probably more centered here. Okay, where's my red? So the red one is probably around here, the red. Okay, and then the green is here, right? Okay, okay. Now, so that's that. Now we have a new centroid. Okay. Okay. Now, second guess again. Okay. Second guess again. You measure again the distance. Okay. So if you do this quite, multiple times, and this guy probably is closer to the green one, right? Probably in the second round. I don't know, because this yellow is closer to that one. Probably this one is closer to the green one. Probably this one green. Probably this one yellow. Still yellow. Okay. The rest are yellow. This is red. We're making cluster. So the next round, the cluster red are going to be there. The yellow is going to be there. Still probably the green, because there are two nodes. Now the green is closer here. Okay. The ronde nomor 2. Okay. Ronde nomor 3. Okay, ronde nomor 3. Sekarang round number 3. Again, we'll do the same thing. The red is, getting closer, and this one is going to be red. The one underneath this, everything is going to be red. Sorry, red. Red, because they're closer. But this guy on the right side, this guy is going to be green because it's closer to this one instead of that one. Oh, yeah, where's my green? Okay, this one is going to be green. Okay. The rest is probably still yellow, but this one is green. Okay. So when you measure again the center of this, okay, basically when you measure is you measure the distance and you measure the means. Means itu apa ya? Rata-rata ya, means ya. Rata-rata. So basically the next round, the yellow is going. I know this one is already not red anymore, so the green is going to be here. Okay. And then because of that, this is yellow. Okay, the red is going to be still there. The yellow is probably still there. The yellow, okay, because they're still out of there. Maybe the yellow is going to be here. Okay. Now the next round, because the green is already there. Okay. The next round. Again, when you measure it, this, you have to do it multiple times, and these guys are going to be green because this is closer to this one. Okay. And then after that, all this become yellow, right? Yellow, red. And then the next one, when you find the centroid, this yellow, this center is going to be here instead of the outside. So if you do that multiple times, at the end of the day, you'll get the center here. You have the center here for the green one. For the yellow one, you get the center here. And then the red one, you get the center here. So you can do that iteratively. Ada pertanyaan? Kira-kira? Jadi pertama kali kita ngasal dari sini, jadi kalau kita ngasal pertama kali kita mulai dengan yang rednya dari sini ya, kita pura-pura centroidnya dari sini, yang yellow tadi dari sini gitu ya, yang green dari sini, kita pura-puranya dari situ. Lama-kelamaan senternya ini, karena yang ini paling dekat ya, misalnya yang merah ini paling dekat, ini kan akan merah, karena dia paling dekat ke sini, dia nggak kuning, ini yang merah dekat sini, yang ini pasti akan merah, yang ini kan merah, yang ini akan merah, yang ini kan merah, tapi yang ini kan hijau kan ya, merah, karena ini paling dekat ke yang merah ini ya. Yang bawah ini kemungkinan hijau dia kan ya, karena dekat dengan hijau kan ya. Yang atas balik lagi kemungkinan akan ini kuning semua karena lebih dekat dengan kuning ya, karena dia dekat dengan kuning. Yang ini juga kan kuning dulu kan awal-awalnya ya, karena dia lebih dekat ke kuning ya. Nggak lebih dekat ke hijau, dia kuning semuanya kan gitu ya, kuning. Ronde kedua, nah habis setelah di measure gini, kita ngitung centroidnya ada di mana, rata-rata dari semua yang kuning. Ini tengah-tengahnya di mana sih ini? Nah pasti ini yang ini akan pindah nih. Karena dia akan di situ, kemungkinan dia karena di tengah-tengahnya ini dia akan di situ. Yang merah karena tadi di sini merah semua, kemungkinan dia akan geser ke tengah ya, nah, di situ. Ya, jadi dia nggak di sini lagi. Yang hijau karena dia hanya satu-satunya di situ, dia kemungkinan geser ke sini ya, yang hijaunya ya. Hijau kemungkinan geser ke sini kan ya. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Nah, ya. Nanti ronde kedua lagi. Nah, ronde kedua lagi. Nanti ronde kedua katakanlah yang hijaunya tadi ke sini ya. Oke. Yang ronde kedua lagi. Nah, dia nanti akan lihat bahwa mungkin ini nanti ini akan ini agak butuh lama. Ini nanti akan bergeser agak dikit. Yang ini yang kuningnya agak sedikit bergeser ke kiri nanti. Lama-lama dia akan bergeser ke sana. Yang ini nanti akibatnya dia akan lebih dekat ke yang hijau ini, ya. Nanti lama kelamaan. Yang ini misalnya lebih dekat ke hijau. Oh, berarti dia hijau. Nah, yang hijau ini ronde berikutnya dia akan antara dua ini, tengah-tengahnya dia akan pindah ke sini kan. Ya. Ronde berikutnya lagi karena ini lebih dekat dari ini nanti akan jadi hijau karena ini lebih dekat ke sini. Ya. Daripada yang ke kuning. Jadi yang hijaunya mendekati ke sana, sentroidnya, merahnya ke sana, kuningnya ke sini. Ya. Jadi lama-kelamaan kita akan mendapatkan hasil yang kita inginkan, yang mana bahwa senternya itu akan ada di tengah-tengah ini, dan tengah-tengah ini. Jadi rumusnya begitu diutar-utar. Tapi, nah, gara-gara pakai Python, kita teorinya kayak gitu. Kita tinggal pakai programnya Python aja. Yang mana? Nah, yang mana program itu tuh cuma 5 baris itu sudah menjalankan itu semua. Sebentar, saya kopikan. I'm going to copy the code to you. Okay, hang on a second. Let me just again copy the code. Okay. Let me just share my screen again. My screen is, where is my cluster? Okay. So this is it, right? So you've gone to this part. Now, let me just copy you this part. Share it to you using the, where is my chat? Where is the chat? Okay, copy there. Okay, you might want to copy those into.
Sir,
yes.
Would you mind to scroll up, sir, the second code?
Okay, let me just
the previous one. Or
okay, I'll
copy
make it bigger.
the second one.
Okay, the second one I have put it in the chat, so you can copy in the chat, so it's easier.
Okay.
So now we've gone to this part, right?
This one.
Oh, this one. I have not done this one. Okay.
Not yet.
So all you have to do is df plot data frame dot plot dot scatter. The x is, the variable x is column x, the y is column y, the color is red. Okay. So we have that part. And then the last one is the learning part.
Di atasnya yang ini ada lagi nggak, Pak? Tadi, Pak?
Nggak ada, cuma ini aja.
Oh, ini Pak, kita missing
error,
kita missing ini, Pak.
Error.
Kayaknya bawahnya ini ada sesuatu yang kita miss.
Coba show me your screen. Let's see. Let me just stop myself. Oke. Siapa dulu?
Would you mind to copy the first Pak, the first code, Pak?
The first code,
Yang
okay. The first code.
We missed the X, Y. I missed the X, Y things.
Oh, there is a DF column X and Y. Oke, ngan saya. Tadi dimainkan ya. Saya ngan saya. Let me just chat it again. Put is in the chat section. Where is my chat section? Chat section. Ini ya, saya tambahkan DF columns X dan Y tadi itu ya. Print DF, terus scatter. Tadi yang DF columns X dan Y itu ya, mungkin nggak ada ya.
Ya, betul.
Oke, balik lagi. Let me just go back to my screen, share screen. Okay. Yeah, there are two ways to do it. One is when I import the data, cluster CSV header none, and then I make the column XY. I can put it there, okay, or I can put it after. This is basically to change the column. Remember, when you print it in the top row, the rows are still the same from 0 to 302, but the column is 0 and 1. But this one, you know, like you can see the 0 and 1. Now the columns are labeled X and Y. That's the only difference. We only change the header. Okay, sampai sini masih okay, and then that's why you can plot this. If you omit the green, the color, you can do this, and it will going to use the default color. I think it's blue. Okay. Oh yeah, that's blue. That's the default color.
Okay.
So I can color.
Okay.
Okay, I can make the color up. I don't know. Red again. Okay.
After that one.
Now let's do that. Where is my chat? I have to copy it from my chat also. Okay.
Pak, ini error.
Hey,
error.
hang on a second. Okay, sip. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, show me your screen.
Kok masih aneh ya, Pak?
Coba share me your screen.
Sorry ya guys, ini membuat lambat.
Tidak apa. Ya, itu dia. Karena kalau kita lihat ya, ini kan langsung DF plot gitu ya. Ada satu missing sebelum DF plot scatter itu.
Ini oke.
Ditambahkan sebelum itu ditaruh aja di depannya. Kita kasih tambah lagi ya. Di enter dulu.
6.
Di enter dulu aja itu. Oke, di atasnya DF columns, DF titik columns. Kolom. Nah, itu ya, kolom. Terus kita sama dengan itu kebanyakan O-nya, kolom. Kolom LOUMN. Hence columns pakai S sama dengan kurung kotak buka. Kotak. Nah, terus kita tanda petik X, tanda petik 1 ya. X. Terus habis itu di belakangnya ada koma, tanda petik Y.
X,
sekarang
Y.
Ya udah, sekarang di run lagi. Jadi kita cuma merename kolomnya dulu ya. Oke. Ya, itu udah. Oke.
Oke, Pak. Thank you, Pak.
Oke. Sekarang bisa lanjut. Silahkan yang lainnya sekarang. Yang sudah siap, saya sambil nyalain saya dulu, mana ya? Share screen, where's my share screen? Share screen lagi. Oke, sekarang saya kode ini saya jalankan ya. Tag ding 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 ding. Nah, aduh saya salah. Oh, plotnya nggak ada karena saya belum ada matplotlib ya. Import. Nah, ditambahin mat. Sorry. Saya belum jalan ya ini. Tartar saya salah, yang share-nya salah ini tartar. Share. Saya share. Clustering kan yang ini, oke ya. Saya nggak jalan nih. Import matplotlib pyplot splt gitu ya. Coba. Oke, ya. Jadi ini saya untuk ngeplotnya. Nah, the first one is to do the plotting. The second one, I'm using a library called sklearn. Sklearn, it is a library from we call it scikit. Learning library, machine learning library. Okay, so inside this library, they already have a function called k-means, k-means clustering. So I'm going to import this right from sklearn cluster import k-means. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I can always directly say, okay, I have now open a k-means right. With cluster number of cluster is equal 3, and then the dot fit data frame. This is my data. Remember on the top, our data is those two columns. Okay, so I can create a variable called k-means, right? And it has 3 cluster, and then I'm going to run it when we call fit this. Actually, the function is doing what we learned previously. like moving that and moving that. So at the end of the day, we have the centroids. And if you print the centroids, right? This is the centroids. There are 3 centroids here. So the centroids are, the x-axis is about 10.05. So it's about 10, okay? And the x is 10. The y is 4.5. Oh, so it is something that. So this is this dot on the right side. Okay. Where is my annotation? Okay, where's my annotation? Okay, annotate again. Okay, let me come the color yellow. Okay. So where is my annotate? Okay. So the first one is this one is that one, right? Because this is the this is the x-axis, this is what the y-axis. So it's about 10. It's about 10. And then this is about 4.5. The y is about 4.5, right? The second one, the x is about 4.3 something, which is this one. And the y is, so this is the second one, centroid. And then the third one, this is the centroid, right? So the third one, this is the centroid, right? Okay. So by what we are doing by just using this library, the k-means library, and we use this 2 commands, we already know the centroid. Actually, the one that is doing the calculation is just one, right? This just one. Let me just get the color again. Just this one. Oh, sorry. Just this one. So this k-means clusters equal 3 and then fit. So we'll fit the data, the df, the data above into this k-means, and we want to have 3 clusters. We can change it into 4 if you want and see what's going on, okay? And then it will print centroids. Now, these 3 lines, it only print or show or plot the graph of our data. So it plots the x and y, and then the label, and then the centroid, and the centroid, it will be plotted in red. So these are the centroids. Okay. So
Pak Budi,
yeah.
Mau Bapak lanjut atau saya boleh bertanya dulu?
Boleh silakan.
Oke. Ini untuk data yang muncul di saya itu kan row-nya berbeda. Kalau Bapak kan 10.05 itu di row pertama, saya 10.05 itu di second row, Pak. Jadi warnanya berbeda.
Yeah, same with me also. It's not same XY data.
Hanya kolomnya aja terlepas.
Kolomnya beda.
Oke, show me yours. Oke. Mestinya nggak apa-apa juga sih klasternya.
Klasternya jadi warnanya berbeda saja.
Nah, kalau klasternya warnanya berbeda nggak apa-apa.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you run it again, then the cluster is going to be different. Because why? Because kenapa kita melakukan begitu? Karena begitu dia mulai kan dia random tadi ya, memilih 3 lokasinya random ya.
Oke.
Ingat kan waktu di contoh saya pas ketika kita mau mulai itunya kan ya?
Oh iya.
Ya, jadi random, kebetulan randomnya yang itu ya. Jadi kan dia mau mulainya, ada yang mau mulainya yang mana tadi? Annotate lagi ya. Annotate saya draw. Nah, ada yang mulainya tadi yang kelas yang satunya tadi kan saya contohnya 1, 2, 3 tadi gitu ya. Ada mungkin yang 1 di sini, yang 2 di sini, 3-nya di sini, atau yang 1-nya di sini, yang 2-nya di sini, 3-nya di sini. Jadi akan beda.
Tapi dengan bahasa pemrograman yang sama hasilnya biasa beda, Pak. Ini yang row yang ini kan XY-nya 4.3.
Nah,
coba di running lagi itu dia geser lagi tuh Mbak, muter lagi.
Di running lagi ininya nanti akan beda lagi.
Dia muter lagi tuh.
Coba aja nanti di running lagi ininya pasti beda.
Iya.
Running lagi muter.
Tapi dekat hasilnya. Urutannya bisa beda, tapi 3 titik ini selalu di situ 3-3-nya.
Oke.
Somewhere gitu. Mungkin ini cluster yang pertama, ini cluster kedua, cluster 3. Kalau di running lagi mungkin cluster pertama yang ini, yang kedua ini, yang ketiga ini gitu ya.
Pak, I don't quite follow. Dalam aplikasinya itu gimana ini ya Pak ya?
Nah, dalam aplikasinya ini kalau saya tahu 3 lokasi ini adalah seperti ini, saya akan membuat coffee shop saya atau toko saya dekat-dekat dengan 3 ini, titik ini. Karena saya akan melayani customer saya di sekitar situ. Kalau saya ini ceritanya tentang toko ya, toko. Jadi kayak gitu. Jadi saya bisa tahu clustering. Atau ternyata ini jenis binatangnya ada 3 jenis nih. Gitu ya. Oh, jenis binatangnya ada gini. Atau barang kita itu 3 jenis.
Atau misalnya produk yang paling disukai oleh yang layak harusnya kita jual itu fokusnya kemana gitu ya mungkin.
Betul, betul. Jadi ini menganalisis data yang kita sebut clustering. Kalau awalnya kita punya data yang bentuknya kayak tadi ya, cluster, sebentar saya ini juga ya. Jadi kita kalau punya data yang bentuknya kayak gini, gitu ya. Nah, ini kan kita mengalami ini ya. Ini kebetulan datanya kayak gini. Kita bisa juga buat klasternya ini yang datanya lebih melebar ya. Spreading, jadi kita nggak tahu ininya ya. Jadi melebarnya itu datanya itu lebih lebar lagi. Bisa. Sehingga kita nggak tahu sentralnya ada di mana sebetulnya.
Pak.
Yes.
Kan, Pak. So, that's the point just now you are mentioning about 3 or 4 or we can change more than 3 like what you said just now, right, Pak?
Right.
That's the point that let's say we want to try to clustering from the data what we have. So let's say we're talking about the market sentiment, for example.
Okay.
Then we can know what is the data where they are clustering.
So,
right, Pak. Then after that we can take decision from that one.
Right.
Okay, understood.
So this
Key
is an
means,
example.
right,
if
the
you have
function,
more money,
the function
right.
of the key means, right, Pak? This
Correct.
is the function of the key means.
Correct.
Okay.
So we
Coba.
can modify the K. So right now, this is an example in my screen. I put 4, so you can see that the clusters are 4 clusters.
Yeah.
Let me just make it 2, for example, right? Suppose I only have 2. Let's just do this 2, and then those are the clusters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can imagine the left one, the dot is in the middle because it's going to serve both the upper and the lower, right?
Ya.
So
kecenderungannya berarti bisa jadi satu ini benar-benar dekat dengan produk A, satu lagi di antara A dan di antara C dan D, gitu kan, Pak?
betul, betul. Nah, nanti sebetulnya ini ada kecenderungan ini tuh bisa dilihat. How many clusters we actually this system has itu. Nah, itu nanti ada yang sebutnya namanya elbow gitu ya. Jadi nanti ada kecenderungan errornya. Errornya itu ada errornya kalau 2 cluster berapa, 3 cluster berapa, 4 cluster berapa gitu ya. Ada yang kecenderungannya nanti kayak elbow gitu. Jadi yang kalau klasternya yang paling bagus, misalnya dalam hari ini yang melengkungnya paling bagus, perubahan drastis itu di cluster 3 nanti. Jadi bisa bilang, oh ini 3 cluster. Kalau kita jadiin 4 atau 5, dia bilang itu perubahannya tidak signifikan gitu ya. Kalau kita buat misalnya 5 cluster tidak signifikan. Jadi itu seolah kita wasting money, wasting ini ya sebetulnya. Itu sebenarnya bisa diklasterkan bersama-sama.
Oke.
Jadi ada tools-nya lagi ini, saya nggak cerita itu, cuma sebenarnya di belakangnya layarnya lagi kita bisa melakukan eksplorasi yang lebih kompleks. We can do more exploration, a complicated exploration, in-depth exploration. So the clustering is just what we call a hello world. Just like programming, you print hello world. Clustering is the hello world in statistics. Linear regression first, and then this one. So there are 2 introduction in statistics. So this is the basic of statistics. Because this usually this is what you are going to face in your daily life. Gitu. Jadi ini hanya sebagai kalau kita punya data seperti ini, bagaimana kita melakukan analisisnya, kita bisa melakukan clustering. And the other point that I want to show is it's easy to do clustering in Python. With 5 lines of code, you get results. Gitu. Jadi that's the benefit of Python. You don't actually have to learn complicated things. You only learn just enough the libraries that you can get by, basically. Jadi kalau kita sudah tahu library yang sederhana ini gini-gini aja, kita sudah bisa get result, sudah cukup. Jadi kita nggak harus sampai jagoan Python gitu ya. Secukupnya aja. Ada pertanyaan? So these are basically just the statistic that I want to explain tonight. That's it. Now we're not going to delve deeper because I know you're already confused. Habis Lebaran langsung dihajar seperti ini. I know. Okay. So
kebanyakan opor, Pak.
Opor nih, kepala lagi susah mikir ya.
Otaknya lembam, Pak.
Tapi ini untuk menunjukkan bahwa so now you know how to deal with data. There are many ways you can deal with data. You can, slice and dice with data. Now you have the tools available for you to actually do, analysis of the data. So that's that. Ada pertanyaan?
Question, Pak.
Yes.
This one is if the data is number, ya, Pak.
Correct.
So, how about if the data is not the number, Pak? For example, I'm trying to clustering the location, for example, Pak.
Okay.
Yeah, the data is not number. That's
Correct.
now is the data is number, then we do this clustering. How, Pak?
Oh, you can also have data. Say for example, the data is labeled. For example, labeled.
Yes.
For example, you have male, female, the children, old, right? For example, you have, you can also do that. So you're clustering based on that. This one is X and Y, right?
Yes.
Yes, data is X and Y because it's supposed to be a location, a map somewhere in the city, for example, right? Okay. But you can have multidimensional. So you can have age on that side, gender on that side, and then here, say the purchase power, the salary, for example, in this side, and then the location where they live on that side. So you can also have multidimensional, but the idea is still the same. You can cluster them, except that now we have two-dimensional, so X and Y. You can X, Y, Z, and so on. But it's still the same clustering.
Okay, understood. Okay, Pak.
So that's the nicest thing about this library is that, you can have multidimensional and it can still cluster it for you.
Okay, Pak.
Ada lagi? So that's that. In terms of the technical content, that's what I'm going to talk tonight. So I'm going to close the kind of the class, right? In terms of the material itself. Basically, when we started this, we want to make sure that we understand the importance of data, right? The importance of data. That's why we talked about the use of data in baseball, for example, the use of data in, in COVID, the use of data in our business. We know that the data is important. Okay, so we got the sense of that. Second, now, what are we going to do with this data? What are we going to do? What tools do we have to process this data? So I'm bringing Python as a tool to process this data. So what I'm saying is with Python, you can process, you can wrangle, you can clean your data, you can analyze your data, you can visualize the data, you can partition the data, you can do some analysis with statistic packages inside Python. Another option would be another language called R. Okay, you can do that also in R. Then there's also another environment where you can also play with your data visually. Now, the other thing is we know this data when we are doing what we are doing right now. We know the algorithm, we program them. Okay, so that's one way to do it. We have data, we kind of have the idea of algorithm, we can program them with the help of Python and the libraries. We can do this. There's another way of doing it from last week or the week before. We were doing it using AI. Basically, we're going we use an AI to learn kind of to understand the algorithm, quote unquote. So what we are doing here, it's actually a combination between the two. The sklearn is the statistic of machine learning, but this is using the Bayesian statistic portion. So this is an AI, but AI with a statistic kind of flavor kind of thing. Okay, so this is just to get a taste for you, so you know that oh, I know the data. So and then the other thing is let me just get my I think I have okay. This is not good. Okay, but I guess I'm going to open it in file, open file. Let me just open file, downloads data. Okay, let me share again. Where is my share? Where is my share? Where is my share? Where is my share screen? Ini suka berburu dulu ya. Oke. Okay. Remember this? This is what we are. Now, I kind of like this idea of this Venn diagram because it actually depicts what we are doing. You know, you're the subjective expert. You know your subject matters. This is where you are. Now you have to know some kind of statistics. That's why we learn linear regression. That's why we learn k-means, right? K-means clustering. So that's the statistic portion, the green side. And then when we are doing Python, that's the hacking skill. So you have a taste of how to code when you ask somebody, hey, do this and do program this and do this. I know that there is some statistics tools or statistic libraries or statistic equations that can help me understand this data. Go and find and do the research. So no, a team of data science or data scientists in the middle. You have a team of with these three domains kan. So I hope you get the drift or get my point in terms of teaching the whole class. Okay. Ada pertanyaan sebelum kita move on to the second subject, which is the writing term paper. Belum ada? No questions?
Not yet, Pak.
Okay, now let me move on to the second part, which is actually writing papers. Now, here's the deal. In the university or in your professional setting, there are two ways to qualify yourself. One is writing. You write things. You write papers. You write proposals. You write, basically you write things. You write report. So that's a skill that you have to have, writing skill. The other one is presentation. That's another skill that you have. So you have to, be able to manage these two. Unfortunately, in this class, I have not been able to allocate time, enough time to test your presentation skill, because your presentation skill again can make it or break it for you. So you have to have these two. Now, these two skills can be learned, and you have to practice. Just like when you know how to swim. I don't know how many of you who can swim or cannot swim. I can barely swim. I know how to survive, but I'm not like those Olympic medalists or whatever. I can swim, but swimming, you cannot just reading a book and then know to become, I can swim. Why? I read books on swimming. No, you have to go and jump, right? You have to swim. The same thing with writings and public speaking. You have to do that. You have to do them very routine and with a quite number of experiments. When I ask you, say, for example, how many papers have you written? I have written 5, but try 100. You're going to be rejected 90 times, 90 times. But when you have written, when you have tried to write 100 papers, I'm sure your paper writing is going to be better than before. Okay. The same thing with presentation. I do quite a number of presentations. In fact, I'm making money off presentations. Let me just